Hello boys and girls and welcome. This is another edition of How I Would Book It, WWE 2015. This is Monday Night Raw. The show begins with J&J Security, Seth Rollins and Kane, the Authority, in the ring, provoking John Cena. Now, as you'd probably assume, Noble and Mercury do none of the talking. Kane, very little, but the mic never leaves Rollins' hand because this segment is to spotlight Seth Rollins. That's it. Just to spotlight Seth Rollins. That's it. And, and Rollins, I give him the direction of promoting his match against Cena at Fastlane his match against Cena at Fastlane. But that's it. I'll just give him the direction of promoting his match against Cena. And then I would also tell him, to finish with this, that last week it was all about proving why John Cena was a failure. Because he said he was going to do something and he failed at the Royal Rumble. Cena failed at the Rumble and will fail at keeping the Authority out of power. Because if Sting thinks that he will have better luck than John Cena, well, Sting has not meant the Authority, or has not been watching, because then he would have known the Authority always wins. And that prompts John Cena to make his way down to the ring. And then John Cena brings up, if the Authority always wins, then why did John Cena win then why did John Cena's team win at Survivor Series? Then why is the Authority out of power if the Authority always wins? But Seth keeps it up and says to Cena, you only know what's in front of you. You only see what's in front of you, John. You don't see what's deeper inside. I apologize. Kane actually says that. I would actually have Kane say that because that sounds more something like Kane would say. And then Cena goes, basically like, what the heck are you talking about? So on and so forth. And Seth says, John, you don't know now, but you will see, and you will find out sooner or later what we're talking about. And you can believe, no. And he leaves it there. That's it. That's it. Now, we go into the next match. AJ versus Summer Rae. As good as a match as you would think that would include Summer Rae. I can understand why they moved Summer Rae out of the ring. She wasn't really that good. Better as a manager. I would have the Bellas run out, try and distract AJ to allow Summer to pick up the win. But the distraction goes south when Brie accidentally hits Summer into a schoolboy by AJ, or a schoolgirl by AJ, and AJ gets the victory, causing the Bellas to be very mad and and try and get to AJ. This below is a highlight package highlighting the history. Highlighting last week. last week's Raw with the new authority figure, Sting being named as the new authority figure, and maybe giving the announcers the opportunity to talk about what Triple H and Stephanie could be planning. Now The Miz is being interviewed by Renee about his upcoming contest against Cesaro. Once again, Renee's first question is, where's Mizdow? And Miz's answer is, who cares where Mizdow is? He's my stunt double. He's my personal assistant. I'm the leading man. You interview me. You care about me. You don't care about him. He wouldn't be in the WWE anymore if it wasn't for me. He's ungrateful. Just like each and every one of you would be ungrateful if you were in that position. Cesaro thinks he understands, but he doesn't, and he's just jealous of me because I am a big Hollywood star, and he can't even, and I made it in the WWE, and he can't even do one of those things. And tonight, I'll show him why he isn't even in my league when I pin his shoulders to the mat, because I'm the Miz. And I'm awesome. Now we go to another part backstage, the locker room backstage, where Stardust and Goldust are seen talking about what happened on SmackDown, with them arguing, and it seems like they're good, however, in the normal sense, you wouldn't know, but in Stardust and Goldust, you never know. Then we move to the rematch between Goldust and Stardust, the Dust Brothers and the Usos, and we see the Usos win, but not before Stardust walks out on his brother and leaves his brother to be to fend for himself, basically. And Goldust comes up short, obviously, but then Stardust comes back, helps his brother up, apologizes, but then goes behind and hits him with the crossroads, and the Dust Brothers are officially broken up, as Stardust leaves his brother prone on the mat after hitting him with a crossroads. Like the last couple of weeks, Bray gets a cryptic promo. Bray is becoming a little bit more clearer, maybe, who Bray is talking about, but like I said the last time, and the time before that, and the time before that, and the time before that, and will continue to say until I finally make it clear who Bray is actually cutting his promo about. The only thing I would do for Bray is accept or reject. Is okay what he wants to say in his promo. That's it. He could say whatever he wants. He could write. He could do his own promos. He could do whatever he wants, because I trust Bray, and I think, consistently him getting a 70 rating is good. I would like to see a little better, but 70 is good in my opinion. Now we move to the next match, a disappointing match, but a jobber match nonetheless. CJ Parker made it as a jobber on the main roster, and Dolph Ziggler gets a solid win against the resident jobber, as Dolph looks to establish himself. And now this is more so centered around this, Dolph talking. Dolph explains that last week he attacked Daniel Bryan because he feels that Daniel Bryan had no right to be complaining about losing the Royal Rumble, or saying that even though he lost the Royal Rumble, he still deserves his shot, his rematch against the world champion, because his title was ripped away from him and he didn't lose it. Dolph continues to say that and let me talk in the first person. I would have Dolph say, I lost my title when I wasn't 100% either. I had it ripped away from me, but I came out here every week, and I worked my ass off every week. Better than anybody on the roster, and you never heard me complain. You never heard me bitch. You never heard me moan. You never heard me think that I should be given my opportunity back. I did what was asked of me, and I never complained, so what gives Daniel Bryan the right to do that? That's why I attacked him, to give him a wake-up call. I'm not a bad guy. Daniel Bryan, all he does is just do yes. What's so special about that? Nothing. Daniel, you're just jealous because you know I'm a better athlete than you, a better wrestler than you, and I'm better in all aspects of this profession, and you can't face that. You can't face that somebody's better than you, somebody just more deserving than you, and somebody belongs in the world title picture more than you. I've worked harder and longer than anybody, and you think you deserve it because you want it, and you got it ripped away from you. You don't deserve anything, Daniel Bryan. You have to go through me to earn it. I am damn proud of being the Intercontinental Champion. And I'm damn proud of being more respected than you. And more deserving than you of anything. And I'm more resilient than you. And before long, that leads to Daniel Bryan running out and a pull-apart brawl going on, where, as you see, an assortment of road agents would come out and break up the fight. Would it be just Dean Malenko, Billy Gunn, and Arn Anderson? Those are the first three I saw, so I picked them. Now we go backstage with Miz and Mizdow hanging out, and Miz tells Mizdow that he doesn't want him at ringside for the match because he doesn't deserve because he needs to spend the time backstage studying the match, not out at the ring engulfing and hogging the Miz's spotlight. He needs to be in the Miz's shadow because that's where he belongs. As his personal assistant, Miz, as his personal assistant, he belongs in his shadow. He's not his partner, he's not his friend, he's not his companion. Excuse me, I don't know why I keep talking in the third person. He says all that, but in the first person. And that prompts Christian to enter the picture. And we hear Christian telling Miz that Mizdow's more talented than him. Mizdow does Miz better than Miz. And Miz is just jealous because Mizdow has gotten more success in the last 6 months than Miz has seen in the last 2 years. And Miz can't handle that because his ego won't let him. Because your ego won't let you handle it, Miz, as Christian would say. And this makes Miz pissed off, walk away pissed off, saying, I don't need this, I got a match. Then we go to a commercial. We come back with Miz and Cesaro in the ring, and Miz wins via underhanded tactics, like using the tights or something. But then Cesaro tries to get to Miz after the match, but Miz squirms out of the ring, not allowing Cesaro to get him. And Cesaro is pissed off in the ring. Once again, Mizdow did stay backstage because of the segment that happened 2 segments before the match, where Miz told him to stay backstage, and Miz squirms away with an underhanded win. Now we go backstage with Seth Rollins being interviewed by Renee Young about what happened earlier tonight with John Cena, and his thoughts on actually stepping in the ring for the first time against John Cena at Fastlane. And Seth says, well, Renee, John Cena thinks that he is the measuring stick of the WWE, that he is still the face of the WWE, but he can't accept the fact that he is the past. That he is the past. That his time is not now. His time has come and gone, and the future is now. And I am the undisputed future of the WWE. I am Mr. Money in the Bank. And I am the face of the authority. And then Renee asks, well, speaking of the authority, can you provide any insight of the plans of the authority? Let me stop you there, Renee. And let me just tell you, because it seems like everybody keeps forgetting. You, Sting, John Cena, Mr. McMahon, you all have forgotten that the authority always wins. Now we move to the next segment, which is a match between Dean Ambrose and Curtis Axel. Let me just explain something. That I love Axelmania, but is there really a difference between making Curtis Axel, and making him Axelmania? You're giving him a comedy gimmick, you're still making him a jobber. What's the difference? He's just a little bit more over because he's Axelmania. I don't get it, you know. But what do I know? I'm just a fan. I would have Ambrose win because I have big plans for Ambrose and I need to keep him with good momentum for the future. Now we move backstage. The Authority in the locker room without Seth Rollins. Kane and J&J Security are in the Authority locker room together, and J&J Security are talking. Then Kane walks up, and Kane is asking what the heck is going on, and J&J Security are like, Kane, where have you been? We haven't seen you in months. We haven't seen you in weeks. And Kane said he's been on Authority business, and J&J Security tell Kane before they walk away, Kane needs to realize he's just like them, because he isn't the director of operations anymore. As they walk away, and Kane is pissed off. For good reason. He just got told off by the Cruiserweight division. Now we move to an interview with Renee Young, who's got the Bellas as her guest, and the Bellas lay into Paige and AJ, saying that Paige and AJ are the exact opposite of who should be on top of the Divas division. They are not divas. They are freaks. They don't belong as the Divas. AJ doesn't belong as the Divas champion. Paige doesn't belong in the WWE ring. She should hit up a tanning bed first before she. Bree says that Paige should take a vacation to a tanning salon and hit up and get tan and get a good tan working because she's too white. They also finish with, you want to give divas a chance. The roster is bigger than just AJ and Paige, but you wouldn't really know that now, would you? I would have Nikki say that because I think that sounds like something Nikki would actually say. Now we move to the next segment with the Big Show going against Mr. Fandango. See, you think, okay, what the heck's the Big Show doing? You're right, nothing. But fact of the matter is, like I said with Dean Ambrose, I have big plans for the Big Show and I need to keep him strong. So, post-WrestleMania plans for the Big Show that entail him staying strong, so he needs to stay strong. Now, this is highlights of SmackDown last week with the happenings of John Cena and Seth Rollins, and Cena laying out the challenge for Fastlane, and the highlights of the phenomenal match between Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan. Now we move to Paul Heyman. Look, this has nothing to do with timing, this has nothing to do with anything, but it's Paul Heyman. I'll tell him, talk up Roman Reigns, say, this is what I would have him say. Brock Lesnar, he would go over Brock Lesnar's achievements. He's gone, we would, fine. He would start with, my name is Paul Heyman, and I'm the one behind the one in 21 and 1. And then he would go through the rest of Brock's achievements, touching upon him being a 2-time NCAA champion, him being a former UFC World Heavyweight Champion, him being the one who beat The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, him being the one who decimated John Cena, and him being the one who overcame the odds at the Royal Rumble, and how he beat WWE's chosen one in John Cena, and now he's going to beat WWE's chosen one again in Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, because the world title is not WWE's anymore. It is my client's title to lose whenever he so chooses, and if Roman Reigns wants it, he has to pry it away from my client's cold, dead, lifeless hands, because that is the only way he will beat the Beast, if he kills him. But that's what management wants. They want Roman to take out Brock Lesnar, but Roman Reigns can't beat Brock Lesnar. And he will not beat Brock Lesnar. I am predicting. I am not predicting, I am spoiling WrestleMania. Roman Reigns will lose to my client, and that is a promise. Hopefully I did Paul Heyman justice. If not, Mark Henry. If you remember on SmackDown, I said that I was going to give Mark Henry a couple wins in a row as a thank you for putting over Rusev and putting over the Dust Brothers in his feud with the Dust Brothers, and putting over Rusev in a solid match on Raw last week. And that's why I gave him a win against Luke Harper this week. And the person who he beat on SmackDown's name escapes me, but I know he was on SmackDown, and I know he won because I remember saying that on SmackDown. This is just the game suggesting to me changing, telling me to change Luke Harper's gimmick, basically. This is where I would take it to the announce table to discuss, where the announcers would discuss the fact that Booker T and Michael Cole think that Seth Rollins is disrespecting John Cena and all John has worked for and has accomplished in his WWE career, and JBL thinks that it's just Seth Rollins not waiting for an opportunity and taking it, even if it means knocking down those who paved the way for you to get to where you are. JBL doesn't see a problem with it, but the other two do. Cesaro in this aspect is just ranting and raving about how in all different languages about how pissed off he is that The Miz cheated to beat him. And then he tells The Miz that this isn't over between them, and it will end with The Miz getting neutralized. But he, of course, says that in a different language. As Cesaro walks away, Christian meets up with him, and they start talking and walking the other direction, we can't hear what they're talking about, but you only assume that they're talking about The Miz. And The Miz might have a problem on his hands with Christian and Cesaro uniting against him. Now we move on to the next match. Kane comes out. He's pissed off from earlier tonight. He's fuming. As this is back from a commercial break, and Fernando's already in the ring, and Kane decimates him in about 4 minutes. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Kane destroys him because this is the first time Kane's actually featured on Raw in quite a while, and I figured I'd give him an easy win. Now we move to the next segment. Lana and Rusev basically are being interviewed by Renee Young, and Lana is rebutting what Ryback said. I want to say he said it on SmackDown, but it might have been last week on Raw. I don't remember, to be honest. I apologize, but I don't remember. It was a while ago that I taped it, I think at the beginning of last week, and a lot has happened since then. So, sorry for having a bad memory. But Lana tells Rusev, Lana said that you have quite an appetite, Ryback, when all you say is feed me more. But when you get in the ring with Rusev, you will be just like everybody else, and you will further prove why Rusev is the superior athlete and the hero to the Russian Federation. Because Rusev will crush you and show that you are just like every other American, and you are a failure and will never beat Rusev. Now we move backstage to another interview location as Renee Young says that her colleague Byron Saxton is standing by in the locker room with John Cena. And John tells Byron to he tells Byron to shut up, and he's got this because he knows what he's here to talk about. Cena says that he's been here for 10 years. He's been on top for 10 years, and he's seen everybody come and go. He's seen people with attitudes, punk kids with an attitude problem, people with given everything and earning nothing. But he very rarely has seen it just from one person, just in one person, and that one person has all the talent in the world. Seth Rollins, you are that person. You have been given everything and earned nothing. You might have worked as the architect of the Shield. And you turned your back on your brothers. But Seth Rollins, you keep calling yourself the undisputed future of this company. And I keep telling you, kid, you want to be the future. The future has got to go through the face of this company. I've been the man in this company for 10 years. You want to drop the name of the future and you want to become the present, you got to beat me in that ring. That might not sound like something Cena would say, but at this point I would make Cena serious Cena, where he would turn it on and make it where no more comedy, no more lackluster promos, not serious promos. I would make it serious Cena, because he needs to be serious, and he goes in and has one of the typical Cena match. He gives Biggie's best match on the WWE. He gives Biggie his best match, the best match of Biggie's career. Why is he versing Big E? Let's put it this way. You want some motives? Seth Rollins told Big E to go take him out. He told Big E, as a big 300-pounder, to go take out Cena. Cena overcame it, and this happens. The Authority don't let Cena. While Seth Rollins comes out on stage to distract Cena, but before Cena can try and get to Seth Rollins, the rest of the Authority jumps him, and they beat down Cena and set him up for Seth to hit him with a curb stomp, and then as Cena's laying there down, proned, the Authority celebrates in the middle of the ring as the show goes to black, and this further putting the idea forward that the Authority always wins. Because the Authority is standing tall, but I actually totally forgot about this segment. If you remember back at the Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins got distracted, which indirectly ended up costing him the match, by Randy Orton's entrance music. As Seth Rollins and the Authority are standing there in the middle of the ring, Randy Orton's music starts to play. But the show goes to black before we can find out if Randy Orton actually shows up at the show, on stage, or comes out in any way, shape, or form. We don't know if Randy shows up, we don't know if Randy's there, we don't know if Randy comes out. All we know is Randy's music played, and we saw Seth Rollins turn as white as a ghost as the show went off the air. And the Authority running around trying to figure out what the hell is going on and if Randy's coming out. But you gotta wait and see till next week. You know what? Fuck it. Let me. Excuse me. Let me turn him. Randy's a babyface now. And the show is over. They think I use J&J as security too much. I disagree. Very good. The best Raw I've done in quite a while. If not quite a while, ever. And hopefully this is building black. Like I said at the end of SmackDown, it took me a little while to get my my direction over, but now that it's over, ain't no looking back, baby. Let's go. See you next time.